Hello! How many of you guys are wondering why is it here we in America has abundance and affordability of dairies and a lot of other calcium food, but why is it that we're still suffering from osteoporosis? Well, what is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis is the softening of the bone. So I just had a patient that came in this week, and she's just really surprised. So after she took her bone scan, basically a bone density test, she found out she was osteoporosis, and she doesn't really understand the reason why. And the reason is this: because of our standard American diet. What I'm referring to is that we've been eating too much processed food, fast food restaurants. As a result, what happened? When we eat a lot of fast food or processed food, what it does is this: it makes your body very acidic. Your body is very smart. As a result, because consuming most of those food makes it so acidic, what your body does is that it strips the calcium from your bone to try to balance out the pH. As a result, because of our ongoing eating that processed food, sugary food, basically processing fast food restaurants for 20 or 30 years, the body got to figure out a way to balance it out, balance out the pH by stripping away the calcium. As a result, she said, well, I've been taking calcium supplements. Oh no, not just only calcium is what you need to do. In fact, just taking calcium alone can be very dangerous for you. Why? Because if you're just taking calcium alone and not taking vitamin D or K2 and magnesium, it's not going to the bone at all. So let me explain. First and foremost, you don't want to take a lot of calcium, because if you just take calcium alone, a lot of that's going to basically have excess calcium floating in your blood, and that's bad. That can help the plaque form a lot faster. Vitamin D, as you already know, like on my earlier video, that's the sunshine vitamin, and you have to have vitamin D to absorb the calcium. So you need some really good vitamin D to absorb the calcium that you're taking. And what is K2? Well, K2, when you use the K2, the whole purpose of that is that you have your calcium and your vitamin D together. So the K2 will take those vitamin D and calcium and direct it toward your teeth and your bone. So K2 is extremely important. And then another mineral that's really important is magnesium. So as you can clearly see, guys, how do we know we have bone density issues? Well, we gotta go get it checked out by doing what's called a bone density test. How do we know we have good vitamin D or calcium? Well, same again, you gotta test it. We can test basically on a regular chemistry profile. We can test your calcium level, and then we can order what's called a vitamin D test to test basically how your vitamin D is. So that's one of the reasons why, regardless of our standard American diet, we are still having issue with osteoporosis. I'll see you on the next video.